habit building, be it until you are it. If you continue to make small incremental improvements every single day, there's no reason for you not to succeed. It's only a matter of time. If you improve 1% every day for a year, by the end of the year, you'll have improved far greater than if you had jumped up 15% on the first day and then dwindled back down to zero. Consistently improving is much more advantageous than impatient leaps forward than falling back down the hill to ground level. And I'm saying this because I know you're getting excited and I'm getting excited about getting our debt paid off, but we have to ensure our system is correct so we don't jump the gun and then fall back into our own ways, our old ways, excuse me. So when I say patience here, I mean more so patience with yourself. Eagerness is good, but we don't want to jump the gun and botch our entire system or stagnate. So here's the deal. You got to be it to become it. You got to be it, then become it. The most important thing we can do is change our identity to be someone of a specific behavior. For example, here's the example. It'll all tie back into money. Stick with me here. When I wanted to go to the gym, I started to identify myself as an athlete. I would say I am an athlete. So when I woke up, I thought to myself, what does an athlete do? An athlete trains, or goes to the gym, eats healthy. So over time, I went to the gym more. I began to eat healthier because I told myself I was an athlete. That's what athletes do, right? So for us, we need to view ourselves as financially wise individuals. Even if you don't feel that way, you have to view yourself as a financially wise individual. And you can choose the term money smart, money wise, financially smart, someone who makes good financial decisions, whatever identity sticks with you best. So you can ask yourself the question, okay, what does someone who is financially wise do? A financially wise person sticks to a budget, gets out of debt, plans for the future, doesn't stop to eat out on the way home every day or binge shop online or put things on credit cards that they have no business even affording. It starts to put decisions into a new lens and it gives things a new context. So the greatest form of internal motivation stems from a habit becoming part of your identity. So why is reframing the way we view ourselves and acting upon it important? One of two reasons. One, identity shaping is important because we don't want the mindset of once I become debt free, then I'll be happy, or then I'll be good, or then I'll be safe. Because if you haven't transformed from someone who views themselves as someone that's bad with money to someone who is good with money, then you're going to revert right back into those money habits that got you into debt, right? Your identity shapes your goals. Your goals don't shape your identity. The more we act on the desired behaviors of the identity that we want, the more we become that identity. The more I go to the gym, the more of an athlete I become. The more I go to the gym, the more I believe I'm an athlete. So when a candy bar is in front of my face, I'm at the point where I don't have to think about what an athlete does. I'm an athlete. I already know not to choose the candy bar, even if it is the easier decision, because now I'm an athlete. It's part of me. And the same goes with your money. Each day you avoid the temptation to shop online, or each time you put money towards your debt, you're inching closer to becoming and being someone who is financially wise. It's a never ending cycle. And the thing I really want to hone in and make clear is achieving a goal and achieving the goal of becoming debt free is a single moment in time. It's a change in a single moment. However, if we change our identity, our behavior, our system for money, we're going to have a greater long-term impact than merely stopping once our goal has been achieved, right? We don't want to become debt-free and be like, sweet, debt-free, let me go buy a bunch of stuff that I don't need. That's not how it works. And I can tell you from experience, when I paid off my debt, I had a identity, I don't want to say crisis, but I had an internal inflection point of like, now what? There is no now what. It's I am a financially wise person. It just continues. So let's talk about how to build a habit. Let's do how to build a habit 101. And this knowledge is coming from lots of experimenting with myself. Interesting way to word it, but it's true. And also I've read way too many books on habits, and I've talked to too many people who are, not habit hackers, but people that also believe, as I do, how important habits are. So, how to build a habit 101. Let's check it out. The first thing is there's a trigger or a cue, and that trigger is what cues your brain to initiate an action. So let's say in this case, your trigger is your alarm clock going off. You're waking up. Next is your hankering or your craving. And this is that motivational force that is caused from your brain being like, hey, this cue just happened, so you need to do X. So if the alarm clock is the trigger, you might feel a hankering or craving to hit snooze. You may want to catch a few more Z's. After that is the response. So because of the trigger, you have a hankering to hit snooze and you do it. That's your response. You hit snooze. And then lastly is the reward. The rewards, you get some more Z's. That's how the habit is built. Cue goes off, you get a hankering, you get a craving, you do something about it, and then you get that reward. So let's do another example, which I think is probably even more so. We all fall victim to this. Another quick one would be you hear your phone buzz, zzz, will vibrate on the table. You get a hankering to check your phone. You check your phone and you get some of that sweet, sweet dopamine. That's all day long. And I know you probably have hit some of that in your life, because I know I have. That phone one is tough. So how do you fix a broken habit? Let's do this. The best way to fix a broke habit is to identify what your trigger is, what the trigger is for your bad habits, and replace the poor behavior to a desired behavior, and make the desired behavior incredibly easy for you to do. We want little resistance on creating this new habit. So for example, let's just pretend this is your current behavior here. You come home from work, you throw your keys on the table, you pop open the laptop to shop online, and you buy some unnecessary things. Get some dopamine from that. So how do you fix it? Once you've identified that your trigger is throwing down your keys on the table, that first day, you're going to have a hankering to pop open your laptop and begin shopping online, because that's the habit you're used to. Instead of doing that, you're going to recognize that cue and choose to write down your financial goals instead. This is an example. You could make dinner instead, whatever your desired behavior is. Your next question is, okay, I know what you're thinking. That sounds easy. You made that sound way too easy. How am I supposed to go from shopping online every single day to suddenly writing down my financial goals, or a completely new behavior? And I'm happy you asked that. So easy is sexy, and difficult is pretty ugly. So the way you achieve creating this new behavior is by adding layers of complexity to the undesired behavior and removing obstacles from your desired behavior. So once you throw your keys on the table, you can't get to your laptop because you stowed it away in a cabinet in a different room from where you normally sit. And if that wouldn't do it, you can add a password to the laptop or put it inside of a box inside the cabinet. Just make it really, really difficult for you to do that undesired behavior. Then on the flip side, you're going to make writing down your financial goals, by the way, still just an example here, writing down your financial goals really sexy by leaving a pen and a notepad out in the same place you used to hop on your laptop at. You could do it the night before, just have everything all set up. So there's zero friction whatsoever to start writing down those goals. A real life example I have is I recently took my guitar out of its case and I put it right next to my desk. It's right off screen here. So now, whenever I take a break, I can hop on my guitar and practice rather than check my phone or never even play guitar at all, because that's what it was previously. If you want to take it a step further, once you've written down your goals, you can habit stack, and reward yourself with another desired behavior. So since you completed writing down your goals, maybe you have a single Hershey's Kiss after. Then you get to the point where once you've met one of those goals, you get a Hershey's Kiss. You kind of wean it to it's a longer standing reward. Do you get what I'm saying here? The point is that the more immediately something is satisfying, the more likely we are to repeat it. So the more immediately we punish a behavior, the more likely we are to avoid it. So hiding the laptop, dunzo. But if we're like, man, I got to write down my financial goals because I'll get a little Hershey's Kiss, whatever that reward may be for you, just make it really, really easy and sexy for you to do it. So here are my concluding thoughts on building habits. As the course goes on, it's going to become clear as to what your desired behaviors should become. You're going to be able to identify that for yourself based off of the identity that you desire. And we covered a lot in this lesson. We talked about acting on an identity becomes our identity and how that will be the line leader for your motivation. We chatted about how habits form and how we can turn bad habits into good habits. Next, we're going to chat about how our perception of money can get in the way of us becoming debt-free. Think about the identity you want, and I'll see you there.